Hi everyone, it's Krista, and welcome to Punched Out Thursdays with me, Kathy, and Sue. And today I'm going to be bringing to you a Halloween layout, and I'm going to be using my small circle punch and my border punches to make this really cool layout. So this picture I'm using is a photo of my two kids, my two girls, Chloe and Zoe. They're 7 and 6, and I'm going to be using this Echo Park Halloween kit that I had. I bought it at Tuesday Morning a while back. And I'm going to go in with first this paper that has these circles on it. And these circles are the exact same size as the circle punch that I'm going to be using. So it's my small circle punch. I can't tell you what the size is because I don't know. I've had it for a long time. But it is my smallest circle punch. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to punch each one of these out. But I do go in first and cut them into strips because it's just easier to get in, of course, with your hole punch, with them being cut in strips. And don't worry, I don't show you the whole thing because it does take me a while to do this. So I'm going in with my circle punch now, and I am punching each one of these little colored circles out. And the paper that I'm using for my background is that web paper you see right there. And I'm going to make something really cool with these. And sorry about my daughter's hand. And it's going to be, I'm going to like create something around the picture, which is really neat. And you'll see it in a second. But first I'm going to still punch these out. And like I said, I don't show you all of them, so. And I think I show you one more layer. I show you punching them out. And the picture that I did is so cute. It's a picture of my girls. They're from last year. They were at school and they had like a whole week of different festivities going on at school for Halloween. So they got to wear this cool shirt, as you could see, and their hair was orange. And we put it up in buns on each side, and they just had a great time. So it was a cute picture. So what you see I'm doing here is I'm stacking these on top of each other, and I'm making spider legs. So their picture's going to go in the middle as the body of the spider, and the legs are made out of the little punches that I made with the hole punch, the circle punch, and I made a little head and 2 antennas. And all I did was go in and stack them on top of each other a little bit and kind of curve them a little bit to make the little legs for the spider. So it did take me a bit, but that's okay because the end result is really cool. So now I'm going to go in with these cut aparts that were also in the paper stack kit. And I'm going to use a few of them to back my photo. And I do use some of those other papers too that you see there that I have scraps left over from a previous layout that I did. So now I'm just trying to figure out what I want to back my photo with and how I want it to look. And I always have trouble with this part. I don't know why. I'm not a photo backing kind of girl. I usually like doing mixed media. So I've been really testing myself with, challenging myself to try this more often and get better and better at it. And I'm really trying. So hopefully it looks all right. But I am going to stack them, and I'm just trying to figure out which ones I want to use. And I do go in with this web, and this is kind of how it's going to go. I use those papers right there. I use the stripe one, the purple stripe one, the green one, the web, and then the orange one will be the last one. And I wanted the orange one last because I wanted it to pop up off the page because of the background being so dark with the black and the white webs. So now I'm just going in and I'm just dressing it a little bit on my edges. And I did go in and I was going to do something else, and then I totally changed this whole layout around. So I'm kind of happy that I did because I was going to scrap lift something off of Pinterest, and then I said, you know what, I have a better idea. And I just came up with this idea of making the spider with the circles, and I was like, this is much cooler. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't do the other layout and that I decided to do this, because you never know when you're scrapbooking. You can, your mind just gets changed so many times, and that's why I like it, because you come up with some really cool ideas even while you're scraplifting, you know, or scrapbooking. And this was a really cool layout. The kids really liked it, so it is a winner in our house. And once I get through distressing, you see that top stripe paper up top. I'm going to be making a border up there and using my border punches. And I'm going to use that one, and I'm also going to use a orange one with white polka dots, and then that striped purple one. And I'm just going to go in and trim these papers down, and then you'll see me come in with my border punches, which I love using, and punch some borders out on those, just to give them a little more interest. And now I'm just going to trim them down just a little bit because they were a little too big. And at least I'm getting through my Halloween paper, because when else are you going to use it? It's a once a year holiday, so I'm probably going to still have some left over for next year. But that's okay. At least I won't have to buy any, right? So now I'm going to go in and use my border punches, and I use 3 different ones, and they're my 3 favorite ones that I use. I love my scallop punch. That's my most favorite because I think it's the prettiest. And I also go in with that other punch that's got little zigzags. It's a little pointier, and then I go one that's not so pointy. It's kind of curvy. And I hold my punch this way because I've gotten asked this quite a few times, because you have to be able to see where you're punching and where you left off if you're going to cut a border. Because if you just leave it flat and you punch down, you don't know where you left off because you can't see it. So that's why I hold it up, so I could see where I'm punching and I don't have to worry about messing it up. And it just makes my life a whole lot easier. So that's one. And now I'm going to do the next one. And I come in with that scallop one last, and I use that on the orange one. And now I'm going to come in with this one. And these border punches are so cool. So if you find them, I highly recommend investing in them. Now mine I got it Tuesday morning. They were on clearance. I got really lucky and I picked them up. So, and I've been using them ever since. And I've had them for years, and I truly, truly like them a lot. And now I'm going to go in with the scallop one. And this one's really pretty. It's my favorite one. If I haven't already said that, which I'm sure I have. And this one's a little bit harder to punch, though, for some reason. I think it's because there's more cutting that it has to do, so it's a lot harder for me to punch like this, but it's okay. I get my workout in my hands, muscles in my hands from punching. And now I'm just going to trim the little bits off, and that's it. Those are done. And there you go. That's how they're going to go. So I will pop those up on some pop dots because I want to give them a little dimension. And now I'm going to go in with my spider legs and just kind of put them where I would like them to be placed. And then the little head and the little antennas for the spider. Just kind of placing everything where I want it. And that's how it's going to go. And now I'm just going to start putting on my craft foam, backing everything with my craft foam, and popping everything up. So I went in with my little round pop dots, foam dots, and I'm going to pop up my first one. And all I do is put it on the edge of my border, and I stack them. And then I, now these little dots I got at Tuesday morning, these little foam dots, and they are so sticky, which is great because you know that your stuff's not going to come off. But they are a pain to get the little film off first to have them stick. So I sit there forever trying to peel them off. But it's okay, it's worth it because I know that they're going to stick. So it just is a pain to try and get them off. They're very, very sticky. And now I'm just going to go on with a little bit larger ones now just to place the whole thing down. And I really like doing it this way with my borders when I, punch them out because it gives them more dimension on the page and it makes it look really cool. And I just really like it. And there you go. And now I'm going to go in and back my photo with my craft foam so it pops up off the page also. And this is just regular craft foam that I buy at the store. I actually get mine at Walmart in the kids craft section. It's really cheap. And I'm going to stack my little head together. Now I'm going to stack these 3 pieces together. See, I kind of stacked everything together first so it's easier to move around and everything stayed together and then I didn't have to worry about it. And there's my little head of my spider. And now I'm going to attach the antennas. And I go in with some craft foam and attach those also because I want him to be off the page, the spider. I didn't want him flat. And it was kind of hard to use my tape gun to do this, but it worked. I really didn't want to use glue. And this craft foam is actually only sticky on one side, but I use my tape, stick it down with the side that isn't sticky, and then stick the sticky side down. This way it's just easier. I actually saw someone else do that, and I was like, oh, that's pretty smart. So that's what I do now. And there you go. There's his head and his little antennas. It's so cute. I love it. So now I'm going to go in with the legs. And I'm going to pop these up as well. And I mean, when this layout is all done, it just looks so cool. I just loved how this turned out. And now I'm going to go in and stick up the rest. And don't worry, I don't show you all of them. I just showed you a couple that I did. And there you go. It's all stuck down. So now I went in and I ripped the bottom of the page and I added another little element there of a web. And I put in these little craft foam witch's shoes and a hat that I had. And that's a wood veneer hat that I got at the dollar store. And the witch's shoes I got at the dollar store. And that little pumpkin on the bottom is actually a shaker sticker with the spider on it. And that I got, I believe it was the dollar store also. And I just stuck that down there and I ripped my paper up on the bottom to show a little bit of the web sticking through. And I made it look like these little sequin spiders that I had were crawling out of behind the paper. And I thought that was such a neat idea. And I really loved the way it turned out. Kind of like the baby spiders, just crawling out all over the webs and coming out with this big spider in the middle. And I just love that idea. And I can't stand spiders, but this was just so much fun to do. And I did stick that little saying there that says witches, because they did have witches on their shirts, so I did want to have something with witches, and that's why I stuck the witch up top, hanging their little feet out from the little border, and her little hat just sticking there. And now I'm going to go in, and it's just going to be Happy Halloween, because that's what it was. It was just a Happy Halloween. And I kind of had the, wanted to make this title pop out a little bit more because of the background. So I just stuck a little thread behind a couple areas of the title. And it did make it pop, and I really like that. And I just winded it around my finger and gathered it together and just stuck it right behind there. and it looks really neat. I like it because now you could see it a little bit better. So I did go in with some more orange thread, and I end up putting some on the bottom here where the pumpkin is with the little spider on it. I just tucked it in behind there. And I also go in up top where the witch is, and I stuck a little bit behind her little shoes. And I thought that looked really neat. And I really like the thread idea. I got it from Missy Whedon, and it does bring a lot more interest to the paper. I really, really like sticking it in sometimes on my layouts. And now I'm going to go in with Nuvo Drops. I love Nuvo Drops now. If you haven't noticed, I've been putting them in a lot of my layouts now. And I'm going in with this orange pumpkin one. It's called Ripe Pumpkin. And it is the crystal drops. And I'm going to put them in a couple spots on the page. And I just do a little cluster of 3 up there and by the title and down by the pumpkin and also by the picture. And that's it. There is the layout. So I hope you like it. Here's your close-ups. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave comments and likes. And I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I try to get back to you right away. And I want to thank you again for watching. And there's those Nuvo Drops. Love the Nuvo Drops. And thanks again for watching. And don't forget to watch Kathy and Ronnie Sue's. I will have their channels linked below. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. And remember, stay crafty. Bye.